Loki, series finale. Here we go. Last week, I was feeling very hopeful that they were actually going somewhere interesting with the show. And I am happy to report that I really, really liked the series finale. For most of the show's run, there has been this weird undercurrent where because the TVA has magic dampeners, Loki hasn't been able to use his powers for most of it. So because of that, a lot of it just feels like they kind of forgot that Loki is the god of mischief who has, all sorts of magical powers, and you lose a lot of the feel of who Loki has been in the MCU before, and the fact that he is a god. And this episode fully embraces him not just being a god, but really becoming a god. And it's so good. Because he learns how to control his time slipping, and he's dealing with, the collapse of the loom and stuff, but he's able to basically at will move through time now. He basically saves scums trying to save the universe. Every time something fails, he just jumps back and is like, okay, here's the new thing that I need to fix. But he does it over and over again. They literally have a SpongeBob style gag that says centuries later, and where he's still doing it. He goes and learns basically all of temporal physics in order to try and fix the problem. And I had in my notes, I'm like, I think he's just becoming the god of time at this point. And that really is kind of what the show is setting up, because the more things that he tries, the more he realizes that what he's trying is the wrong approach. He ends up going back to the season 1 finale and talking to He Who Remains again, and he finds out that even after He Who Remains was killed, Loki and everyone was still ending up following a plan that He Who Remains had set in motion. He Who Remains is just how many times have we had this conversation? I'm glad to see that you figured out how to control the time slipping now. He expected all of this. And it really feels like seeing this finale, I get the feeling now that they had a coherent plan from the start for this show, which feels very rare for an MCU show. I feel like everything came together really well. And while I won't go too much into how the show itself actually ends, I will say that Loki fully embraces being a god, and what he does is so important just in terms of where they're building the multiverse saga. This is the first time where I've actually felt like I'm interested to see what they do with it, because just based on how this show ends, where Loki is, I'm positive we're going to see him again, because he is playing a pivotal role in quite literally holding the multiverse together. And that's all I'll say there without spoiling too much more, but I really liked this finale. I think Loki has been one of the more creative of the Disney Plus shows, and while I have been hesitant to allow myself to enjoy it because I have been feeling the Marvel fatigue, I really liked this episode. I really liked this season. I really like Tom Hiddleston. He plays a fantastic Loki. He's one of, Marvel has a villain problem, and sure, Loki's no longer a villain, but he started as one, and in terms of the villains that the MCU has had, he's certainly one of the more interesting characters because they've given him time to develop. I really like it, and I want to see him come back, because where they leave his character here, I think there is so much potential for it going forward. And I'd be willing to put money on it. If somebody wants to bet me $10, this bet won't pay off for a couple years, but I'm willing to put money that Loki is going to be in the next Avengers movie. He's going to be in the Kang Dynasty. I don't know that he will play the most pivotal role in it, but I think he'll play a somewhat important role in it. So yeah, I really liked this episode. I really liked this show. I think, as I just saw the Marvels and wasn't that excited with that, I watched them both the same day. Yesterday I saw the Marvels, and then I went home and saw that Loki was out. I watched that, and now I'm kind of feeling cautiously optimistic about the future of the MCU. Now, I know that's going to be dashed as soon as the next thing comes out, because I know that they've been having problems with developing their TV shows, and I know their movies haven't been doing as well as they want. And I know they they had like half of Daredevil Born Again films and they decided to scrap it all and they're starting over with that show. So I know that they don't have a strong hold on the steering wheel here. But for the time being, where they went with Loki gives me hope. And if they can get the people who were involved in writing Loki to make more things in the MCU, I feel like there is hope yet for the future of the MCU. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm trying to get my channel monetized, so your view means a lot. Don't forget to toss me a like, and subscribe, and ring the bell. I stream Mondays and Fridays at 5 p.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m., so catch me live and join in on the convo. You can find all my socials in the description below, and thank you to all my patrons with a very special shout out to my Whale Shark tier patron Ryan D and my Anemone Friends tier patron Piftle Cakes. Your support means the world. Catch you next time.